Happy Thanksgiving, folks. And you know what that means? That means today it's a good NFL day. So, gonna talk right quick about the NFL games for this week. We're gonna preview them and make my picks. All right. Give me a second here so I can share this screen out. So, of course, it's three games today. There's a Black Friday game and a full slate of games to come this weekend. So, I was actually looking at the college picks. So there's one college game today. So I'll go ahead and pick the one college game before I get in the NFL because my college picks video is going to come out tomorrow. So the one college game was Tulane and Memphis. Tulane's a 13.5 point favorite. Both teams 9-2. Tulane still a small outside chance to get into the playoff. Very small chance, but 13.5 point favorite. Memphis is pretty good. So I don't know if they're going to cover that. I expect them to win, but I think they won't cover the 13 points against a good Memphis team. Now let's get into the NFL, which is what this video is about. So start off with the three games today. The Chicago Bears, 9.5 point underdog, visiting the Detroit Lions. I like Detroit to win the game handily and cover 9.5. I think Detroit wins that game by double digits. They actually have a 7-year, I believe it's seven-year losing streak on Thanksgiving. So I think Dan Campbell and the guys, they're 10-1 this year. I think they're going to be out to make a statement and out to end that Thanksgiving Day losing streak. And I think they will handily against the Bears. I don't know if it's going to be a demolition derby, but I think they'll win by double digits. And they're a 9.5 point favorite. Next game, the Dallas Cowboys, 3.5 point favorite over the New York Giants. Probably going to be an ugly football game. Two teams that aren't great. Giants 2-9. Cowboys with a surprise victory last week over the Commanders to get to 4-7. Cooper Rush actually played well in that game for the Cowboys. Giants to start Drew Rush. What's his name? I'm having a little brain fart here. Yeah, the quarterback they used to play with Denver and Seattle. I don't know why I'm having a brain fart here, but anyway, they're going to go a different route at quarterback. Drew Lock. Tommy DeVito was the starting quarterback last week. Tommy DeVito suffered an injury, but to be completely honest with you, I don't even think it matters. They probably should have started Drew Lock in the first place. He was the backup quarterback, and for whatever reason, they jumped him for Tommy DeVito. So they're going to go with Drew Lock. I think they can keep this game closer than 3.5, being on the other side of the hook here. I'm going to take the Giants. That's a hard pick, but I'm not going to be a prisoner of the moment of the Cowboys playing well last week because they've looked absolutely horrific before that. So I think this can be a field goal game. So take the Giants in the spread. I think I must say the Cowboys win this game by 2 or 3 points. The last game on Thursday night. Tonight. It is actually Sunday night on Thanksgiving because it's an NBC Peacock game. So technically it is a Sunday night game on Thanksgiving. Miami Dolphins going to the cold 20 degrees in Green Bay. We all know about the Dolphins. They say can't win in cold weather, can't beat good teams. We all know all of that. So hopefully they go out and disprove that. I'm hoping they go out and disprove that. I want the Dolphins to win this game. Packers are 3.5 point favorite. But until I see differently, I think they cover the 3.5 and win this game. So hopefully I'm wrong on that pick. So we'll go to the Black Friday game. The Raiders 2-9. I think they're on a 7-game losing streak. It may even be 8 games. They go to Kansas City to take on the Chiefs. Chiefs a 13-point favorite. We all know the Chiefs never cover point spreads. Like literally, they never cover. So I think the Raiders keep this game closer than 13 points, but they're not going to win it. But I do think they keep it closer than 13. Kansas City wins in the second annual Black Friday Prime Video game, which technically is Thursday night football on Black Friday. So we go to the Sunday slate of games. The Chargers visiting the Falcons. Chargers a 1-point favorite on the road. Jim Harbaugh suffered a loss last week on Monday night to his brother. Falcons and Kirk O'Chain suffered an embarrassing blowout loss to the Denver Broncos before the bye in their last time out. I think the Falcons bounce back at home. These are two pretty good football teams. I don't want to say good because the Falcons are so up and down. I actually think the Chargers are a better team, but I'll take the Falcons at home to bounce back. They're a 1-point dog, so I'll take them. Cincinnati Bengals hosting the Pittsburgh Steelers. Steelers coming off an upset loss on Thursday night to the Cleveland Browns and Jameis Winston in the snow. Bengals coming in 4-7. Joe Burrow is having such a great year, but the team 4-7 stuck in the mud. I mean, Burrow's having a fantastic year despite all the losing. He's got over 3,000 yards, 27 touchdowns, and 4 interceptions. If the Bengals were, say, 7-4 instead of 4-7, Joe Burrow would probably be the leading candidate for MVP of the league, but he's not because the team is 4-7. Jamar Chase having a great year, over 1,000 yards already, 12 touchdowns. Defense has been letting them down. Running game has been subpar. They've continued to find ways to lose close games. They've been really bad at home this year. They're 1-4 at home. I like Pittsburgh in this game. Pittsburgh's a 3-point underdog. Give me Pittsburgh. They've found ways to win while the Bengals have found ways to lose. So I think the Steelers win this game close. Arizona Cardinals going on the road. Take on the Minnesota Vikings. Vikings are 3.5-point favorite, 9-2 on the season. They wrote the ship after starting 6-0 and dropping 2 straight. They've won 3 straight now. Arizona Cardinals coming in 6-5. They were on a heater, a 4-game win streak, and then they decided to wet the bed against the Seahawks at home. They only scored 6 points. Kyler Murray threw a horrible pick 6 in that game, and I like the Vikings. I like the Cardinals to bounce back or at least lose this game by less than 3.5. I mean, 3.5-point spread. I mean, maybe Minnesota takes it by a field goal, but I don't think they win by more than 3.5. But I think Arizona either bounces back or at least keeps it really close. But I like Arizona on the spread. The game, I think, can be a toss-up. It's going to be really close. Indianapolis Colts visiting the New England Patriots. Indianapolis 2.5-point favorite on the road. Last week, the Colts lost to Detroit in dominant fashion, just the same way the Lions dominate everyone. New England Patriots coming off a thumping against Tua and the Dolphins. And Patriots at home, 2.5-point underdog. I actually like the Patriots in this game because I think Drake May's been playing good ball. And he doesn't have a lot around him. I think this game's close, so I'll take the Patriots here. 2-point favorite on the road, the Seahawks are against the Jets. I think people are starting to learn their lesson, all the respect for Aaron Rodgers and the Jets, because it's like they continue to be favorites in all these games that they shouldn't be. They're a 2-point underdog at home to the Seahawks and Geno Smith. I'm going to tell you something about the Seahawks. You don't know what version of them is going to show up. There's a good version of them. There's a crappy version of them. Geno's up and down the same. He's got over 3,000 yards, 12 touchdowns, 12 interceptions. So you don't know if it's going to be the good Geno, the one they wrote off but didn't write back, or the one that should have been wrote off. You don't know which version is going to show up. They're on the road against the Jets. They're going across the country, playing a game at 10 o'clock Pacific time. I can't pick the Jets, though, because the Jets are crap. They're getting ready to probably put Aaron Rodgers on IR. They're going to start over again. They just fired the GM. I'll take Seattle to cover. It could be a close game, but I'll take them to go on the road and cover. The Tennessee Titans going on the road to take on the Commanders. The Titans probably better than that 3-8 record. They've lost a lot of close games. They won a week ago in Houston. The Commanders are in free fall mode after starting 7-2. They're now 7-5. Jaden Daniels starting to come down to earth. He played really well in the fourth quarter last week. Didn't look good for the first 3 quarters. Commanders are at home. I think the Titans keep it within 5.5. I think the Commanders win a close game, but I think the Titans keep it within 5.5. Houston Texans, 4-point favorite on the road against Jacksonville. I don't know the 2-9 Jaguars if Trevor Lawrence is playing or not. He missed the last 2 games, and they look horrific with Mac Jones at quarterback. Houston Texans, they don't look that hot. They're going to win the division by default, 7-5. C.J. Stroud's he's having that sophomore slump this year. If I'll preface this, if Trevor Lawrence is playing, because I haven't checked, I think Jacksonville is going to cover their 4-point underdog. I think this game's closer than that, and they may even pull off the upset. If Mac Jones plays, they'll probably lose by 10 points because they probably won't score enough points if Mac Jones plays. So I think this game will really depend. Trevor Lawrence plays, bet Jacksonville. Mac Jones plays, bet Houston. The Rams taking on the New Orleans Saints. First game in the 4 o'clock window, 4 o'clock Eastern window. Saints at home in the Dome, a 2.5-point underdog. I don't like the way the Rams are playing. The Saints are on a 2-game win streak, playing better under new interim coach Darren Rizzi. I think the Saints 2.5-point underdog. I like the Saints in this game, playing better football. Rams aren't playing all that hot. Lost last week in dominant fashion as Saquon ran all over them. Alvin Kamara and Taysom Hill might do the same thing in this game, especially if they can get Taysom doing the crazy gadget plays that he did last game. I like the Saints here. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 5.5-point underdog on the road against the Carolina Panthers. 5.5-point favorite on the road against the Carolina Panthers. Carolina's playing much better ball. They've been competitive. I think they're competitive here. I like Tampa Bay, but not to cover. I think this game's closer than 5.5. Give me Carolina on the spread. Give me Tampa to win a close one on the road. Philadelphia Eagles, 9-2, probably the game of the day, going against the 8-4 Baltimore Ravens. Ravens a 3-point favorite at home. I say all the time, I don't like the 3-point spreads. Think this could be a 3-point game. If you're going to bet it, take the home side and go with the Ravens. They got the better quarterback in Lamar Jackson. Of course, Saquon, in my opinion right now, Saquon Barkley should be the MVP leading candidate in the league. The man's got almost 1,400 yards. He's on pace to break 2,000 yards, and that's not something we see often in this league. So, yes, Saquon has been an absolute monster. But if you're going to bet it, I take the Ravens, but I can see this being a 3-point game. We go to the Sunday night game. We talked about the Thursday night, Thanksgiving Sunday night game. This is the Sunday night game here. The 49ers on the road, 7-point underdogs. Again, I hate 7-point spreads to the Buffalo Bills. 49ers too banged up, too many injuries. We don't know if Brock Purdy's going to play. Now, CMC doesn't look like he did before his injury. Kittle's been banged up. We know Ayuk's not coming back this year. So many injuries for the 49ers. Injuries on defense. Buffalo's at home. It's going to be cold. Night game. Buffalo should win this game by at least 10 points. They definitely should. And if Purdy doesn't play, they should probably win it by 20. We go to the Monday night football game. The Cleveland Browns going on the road to take on the red-hot Denver Broncos. 5.5-point favorite is Denver, playing good football under Sean Payton. Bo Nix, he's chased down Jaden Daniels now for leading candidate for Rookie of the Year. Great season he's having. Broncos looking to hold on to the playoff spot and maybe even move up in that playoff chain. I like Denver to cover the 5.5 at home. Jameis can do some good things for Cleveland and keep it close, but I don't think he can do enough here. I think Denver's a 10-point winner. So those are your football games for this week. Happy Thanksgiving to all out there. And remember, it's always peace and football. And I'll see y'all later.